Hello and welcome back to the Busy Business Owner's Guide to Marketing. It's great to have you with me for episode 5, the Content Repurposing Flywheel. Create once, distribute forever. Does it ever feel like you're stuck on a content treadmill? Just constantly creating, posting, and starting all over again the next day. It's absolutely exhausting. What I like to see businesses do is build a system that works smarter, not harder. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn one great piece of content into an entire month's worth of marketing, creating a flywheel that multiplies your impact without multiplying your effort. So what exactly is this flywheel I'm talking about? I want you to picture a heavy, physical flywheel. It takes a significant push to get it started, right? But once it's spinning, it builds its own momentum and keeps going with just a little nudge. This is exactly the model I like to see businesses use for their content. That big initial push is your pillar piece of content, one substantial, valuable resource. Then, atomizing it, or breaking it down into smaller pieces, creates that incredible marketing momentum that spins with far less effort. It's the complete opposite of that draining, start-from-scratch approach most businesses take every single day. So, let's talk about that first big push, forging your pillar content. What makes a great pillar? What I like to see is one truly substantial, valuable resource that solves a significant problem for your ideal customer. This isn't a quick tip, it's the main course. You might find that an ultimate guide blog post works well, or maybe a detailed webinar, an in-depth video tutorial, or even a comprehensive case study. The key here is to focus on depth over breadth. You're aiming to create one exceptional resource that can serve as the solid foundation for everything else you're about to build. Once you have that fantastic pillar piece, the next step is what I call atomization. This is where the magic really happens. We break it down into numerous smaller, micro-content pieces. For example, let's say your pillar is a 20-minute webinar. What I like to see is that single webinar turned into 5 or 6 powerful 60-second video clips for social media. From there, you might find you can write a 10-point summary blog post, design a simple infographic with the key takeaways, create several eye-catching quote graphics for Instagram, and even an audiogram for LinkedIn, all from that one initial effort. Now, a crucial step that I find people often overlook is that repurposing isn't just copy-pasting, it's about smart adaptation. What I like to see is a thoughtful approach to tailoring each of those small pieces for the platform where it will live. For example, you might find one of those powerful video clips becomes a fantastic Instagram reel. Then, that 10-point summary post can be expanded slightly into a professional LinkedIn article. Those quote graphics? They are perfect for catching attention on Twitter. And that infographic we designed? I often use those on Pinterest, or drop them into an email newsletter for a great visual punch. It's all about meeting your audience where they are, in the format they expect and enjoy. Okay, so now you have all these fantastic pieces of micro-content. The temptation can be to post them all at once, but that's not the flywheel way. What I like to see is a simple distribution engine. I just create a basic calendar and schedule these pieces out over 2, 3, or even 4 weeks. 1 week, you might post the video clips. The next, you'll share the quote graphics and the blog summary. Now, I know this whole system might sound like it could become another full-time job, but that's exactly what we want to avoid. The key is to lean on a few smart tools to make it almost effortless. For example, if my pillar content is a video, the first thing I do is run it through an AI transcription service like Descript. It instantly gives me a text document to pull quotes and summaries from. For all the visuals, you might find that using Canva templates is a huge time saver. And finally, what I like to see is everything loaded into a social media scheduler like Buffer or Later. You set it all up once, and your marketing runs on autopilot. So to quickly recap the flywheel method, what I like to see is that simple 4-step process. First, create one powerful pillar piece of content. Then, atomize it into smaller, valuable micro-content. After that, adapt each piece for the specific platform it's going on, and finally, schedule it all out. You might find this single system completely frees you from that content treadmill, saving you an incredible amount of time while maximizing the impact of your efforts. Thank you for joining me today. Now that you're driving all this traffic, the next question is, how do you measure what's working? Join us next time for episode 6, Decoding Your Website Data, the 3 metrics that actually drive growth.